Oi, did the Celtics just blow it? Did the Celtics just burn their golden tickets, their championship win, and vanish? Because that's the only question that matters, right? The Celtics, they had all the calls. They definitely had all the calls. Everyone was healthy, right? Robert Williams looked pretty good. So what the hell happened? Well, Stephen Curry, it was a Stephen Curry game. Like, when you have a superstar, which is exactly what Stephen Curry is, a superstar, you are capable of picking apart the greatest defensive teams on the road. Give me your best defense. Give me your best offense. It doesn't. I have this guy. I have this guy who was on the cloud. He's on the superstar status. He's on the mountaintop with the Dr. J's, right? With the Shaquille O'Neals. And sometimes it just doesn't matter. Now, the Celtics, they were far from their best today. Far. They got swamped on the boards. Statistically speaking, it was the only really massive difference in the numbers, right, between the two teams. And when you watched it, oh my God, did it look like that? When watching, I mean, hey, look at Wiggins, by the way. Wiggins' development. He had a couple of very clutch offensive rebounds. But hey, let's just cut through all that crap for 1 second. Just 1 second. And let's just say the Warriors had Stephen Curry, because that's what it is. And saying the Warriors have Stephen Curry is not the same as saying the Celtics have Jason Tatum. Stephen Curry and his group are battle-tested more than any three players ever since the Bill Russell days. Jason Tatum's not. Jason Tatum is not he's not a Pantheon guy. Jason Tatum is not a superstar. Now, that's going to rattle some people. Oh, wait a moment, Troy. Look at his defense against the Nets, and he played so great against the Bucks. He was awesome against Miami, and he had one of the hardest and trickiest Eastern Conference runs ever since at least the millennium. I get all that. Completely understand that. I have a smaller pool for superstar status, and when you drop 23 points, going, 8 from 23 from the field? We know we had 12 points in game one. I want people being called superstars to be a little bit more consistent, right? But the Celtics, they're more like, identity-wise, they're more like the Suns, with just a really great collection of talent. Now, obviously, Tatum is that dude. Obviously, whatever goes under superstar, he is. Call him a megastar, a ultra star. Call him a star, triple A plus, whatever you want to call him. The Celtics are closer to the Suns than they are to the Warriors. Like, sometimes you can play better than a superstar. It happens over a long course time. It happens all the time. But the superstar's like a lion, right? It doesn't sweat over small things. Regular season, hey, sure, mate. Jason Tatum, you go get first team All NBA honors. That's awesome. But in moments when everything matters, it's unequivocal at this point. Curry is more unstoppable than Tatum. Watching defenders shrug to the coach like, I don't know what to do, when Curry is just draining these awesome long threes. It looks exactly like the defender's eyes when Giannis takes 4 steps from half court, Eurosteps the entire team, and just dunks it from the free throw line. And to add on top of that, when you have the fans just berating you, I mean, Boston fans, they went off at Green, but they also went at Curry too. And all the power to them, by the way. I think it's awesome. I love it. But Boston fans in attendance, understand though, you bring out the best in them. It's not a coincidence that Curry has his second highest scoring finals game ever. I think it was his second highest scoring finals game. And, he starts making these threes where it's like, he starts making these threes fouled or not fouled, even when it's not even called. And against the Celtics crowd that did everything they could have done possibly to make themselves heard in game 3. I mean, we saw all the business with Draymond. Clay came out and said how classless they were. Whatever. I mean, well, and by the way, just good job, Boston fans. Understand? Good job, Boston fans, because Stephen Curry didn't say that to the media. He spoke with his actions. Now, Jason Tatum, he could throw the return punch, but I think he's pushing too hard for the Finals MVP. And I don't really know how else to explain that. But Tatum, he thinks the way to win the award is to score the ball. I mean, which is, I guess, it's a huge part of it. But it's actually the opposite approach he should be taking. He just needs to work on facilitating. The shots will come. I found the stat from Jason Tatum. I think it's awesome. When Jason Tatum has at least 7 assists, that's all. The Celtics are undefeated in this playoff run. They have won their last 15 consecutive games and lost only twice all season when Tatum has 7 assists. Just 7. So if he wants finals MVP, perform your role. You don't carry the weight of the offense like Curry does. So you don't have to match his offense like you're in a 1v1 battle or it's an all-star funny gimmick. That's not how you're going to win this series. Now, the good news for Boston fans, I'll give you guys some good news as well. Curry is likely not going to have another game as great as that. I say likely because when Curry is faced to do it all, he will be inclined to flip that switch again. But, many of the Warriors' flaws are still glaring. I mean, they don't have a reliable second option, a second scorer at all. Not even a little bit. Otto Porter Jr., he started today. He had 2 points. They started him because Looney does not add enough on the offense. Right? This is the issue. But the most famous by far Warrior who seems to be slumping the hardest is Draymond Green. It's at the point where his mummy Draymond throwing him under the bus. Now, you can say Draymond has never been an offensive weapon, or that, the way the Celtics are covering Steph just really horribly in drop coverage means that Green doesn't get his usual gimmies at the rim. He doesn't get his free shots at the rim because we're actually defending the paint. However you want to shape it, the way the Warriors operate today, compared to their heyday when they had a Kevin Durant, right, when they had a healthy and reliable Klay Thompson, that's not the same Warriors team today. That's not the same Warriors team that's fighting for their lives in 2022 NBA Finals. I mean, this team is all hands on deck for putting the ball in the basket, right, for helping Steph Curry in any way possible. And no matter if you do all the small things that don't get shown in the box score, when you can't score or are not scoring the ball and are letting, Brown's still getting his numbers. Let's just not overcomplicate this. That's an issue. That's why he was benched during the Warriors' very crucial and it was a very great offensive run that fourth quarter, right? And if you watch it happening, you can't say that Draymond's playing great. Okay, if you liked this video, don't be afraid to like it. It's not going to buy you. Like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.
1.